Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day, and I promise I'm going to make this worth your while. So, for those of you watching the replay, if you're new to my world, I'm Taryn. I'm a mother to a very cute but busy boy, and I'm also a seasoned entrepreneur and mentor to CEOs. So, I've been running my own businesses for 13 years now, and I've been in the offline and the online marketing space over that time. And I specifically help coaches, therapists, and service led entrepreneurs attract more aligned clients with clarity and confidence without taking that away from the things that are most important to them in their lives, like their family, their well being. So, yeah, I just want to ask you a question to reflect on. So, does this sound familiar? Maybe you feel like you're ready to share your work with the world, but the moment that you think about marketing or putting your offers out there, you feel this like contraction in your body or you feel this resistance. And maybe you've told yourself things like, I don't have anything unique to say, or I'll launch my offer when it feels perfect. And the truth is that waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect message is often going to hold you back from getting your magic out into the world and evolving it and making progress with it. And so today we're going to flip the script for you, and you are going to get more of your magic out into the world so that you can impact more lives and you can bring in more aligned clients into your business as well. And we're also going to explore what 2025 clients are looking for. So we're going to talk about how you can meet them where they are without overthinking or over explaining or overworking. And by the end of the session, you will have a clearer idea about how you can take small, powerful shifts in your business to create a consistent, relaxed client flow. So, your key takeaways for the session are going to be the number one mindset shift that makes client attraction feel more effortless. You're going to see what 2025 clients truly want and how to align your marketing with their desires. And you're going to have simple, actionable steps to create a relaxed client flow before the year ends. Does any of this sound like you? So, you might spend hours writing a post for Instagram only to get crickets when you hit publish, or you've spent hours dialing in your messaging on your sales page, hesitating to launch it because you're worried that it's not perfect yet, or you feel invisible in a crowded market and wonder if your message is actually truly landing with anyone, or you're juggling everything. You've got clients, family, personal growth. And when it comes to your marketing and your sales, you find yourself maybe cleaning the house or redesigning your website for the 10th time or doing anything else but that, right? So just drop a one in the comments if that resonates with you. And I also want you to know you're not alone. I've experienced all of this myself, and I know lots of people are as well, ironing. Yeah. Yeah, cleaning the house. I used to do a lot of cleaning the house. Jess says, yeah, one. Okay, great. Lol, yes. Okay, great. So maybe you have joined some other programs before. Maybe you have watched 100 masterclasses. Maybe you have hired mentors, but you feel like something is still not clicking. And there are a number of reasons why things are not clicking yet. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And so the one thing that I wanted to talk about is the number one mindset shift that I see that get in the way of entrepreneurs attracting more clients. And so one of the biggest challenges I see is the belief that what you have to offer or how you are marketing your services is not unique enough, it's not different enough, it's not going to stand out amongst all the noise that we're experiencing in the online space at the moment. And the reality is that yes, marketing strategies are going to play into this, and I'm going to talk a lot about that today. But there is also no one out there like you. And so you have a unique personality, you have a unique energy, you have experience that nobody else has, life experience, not only professional experience. And so there might be, 1,000, 100 and thousands of entrepreneurs out there doing something similar to you, but nobody's going to do it exactly like you. And that's what sets you apart. And this is why it's so important, especially nowadays, to infuse your uniqueness, your personality, your life experience into the way that you're talking about your offers and the way that you're marketing yourself as well. So let me just check if I can see the messages here. So Dawn says, I feel comfortable posting and I'm taking lots of action, but getting engagement is like pulling teeth with anesthetic. Okay, great. Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, we are going to talk about engagement as well. So we'll get to that. So yeah, just as an example for anybody who does feel like they resonate with this mindset block is there's, millions of midwives out there, as an example, talking about a completely different industry, but it doesn't take away the value of what each individual midwife has to offer, right? And when it comes to marketing your services, the way that I've seen this come up with some entrepreneurs is like they don't like marketing and sales because it feels very generic. And yeah, at the end of the day, it is very generic. Like a lot of what works is what has been working for many years. And whether people are hiring mentors to discover these strategies or they are failing a million times to figure out what works and what doesn't work, a lot of what works is going to be similar across the board. But again, what's going to make it unique is you. And so that's why it's important to really infuse that into your messaging and your marketing. So if you are experiencing this mindset block, then I want you to know, yeah, again, you're not the only one. And there's two ways that you can move through this. So the first way is to just acknowledge that part of you who thinks that what you have to say is not unique or special enough, because often what happens is that we ignore or hide away from these parts of ourselves because we think that actually if we just ignore it, it's going to go away and we can like take the lead. But the opposite actually happens. When we ignore them or we hide away from them, we actually give them more power and they lead the way. So if you have a pattern in your life that you keep getting stuck in, or if you feel like you are uh, struggling to break through a certain limit with your income or clients or whatever it is you're working towards, then it's likely that there is a part that is attached to this pattern in some way. And when we just acknowledge it with compassion, without judgment, what happens is we free ourselves from it because that part just wants to be seen and heard. And then it allows us to take the driver's seat again. And so this is I'm not going into too much detail in this training with this, but this is a big part of the wealth rewiring process that I take my clients through in my Chrysalis Mastermind, because it does play such a huge difference in how we are showing up in our businesses when we take the time to integrate all of these parts into our nervous system rather than letting them run the show. The second thing is to not to worry so much about what other people are doing. And so the reality is that you will see a lot of what other people are doing similar to you because you are in your world. And so in our world, like it's just the way the mind works, right? Our mind is going to look for all the evidence to confirm our beliefs and our ideas. And so when you are a wellness coach, for example, you are going to be like drowning in wellness coaches in your social media feed. But not everybody is going to be seeing what you're seeing, right? Yeah. The other thing around this is that if you think of an idea and then you start spending a lot of time scrolling on social media, consuming other people's content, I guarantee you're going to find somebody out there with a similar idea to you. This happened to me, and I'm just going to share a personal story on this. So when I became a mother, I kind of just naturally wanted to pivot my niche into motherhood and business. And I thought that I came up with this really unique, innovative offer that I wanted to put out called Rebirth, which was focused around that transition of stepping into motherhood while running a business. And I was so excited about this program. And I had a lot of time on my hands in my postpartum days, and I spent too much time scrolling on social media, to be honest, and consuming other people's content. And I eventually came across a very well-known coach who I hadn't really spent a lot of time in her world before, but I came across one of her posts launching this new offer, which was called the exact same thing and was focused on the exact same focus. And so I ditched the idea completely, and I actually ditched the whole niche. It put me off like the whole niche because I was like, well, somebody else is doing it, so I can't do it, right? And I kind of like regretted that, and I've gone down a slightly different path now. But I learned a lesson from that, in that don't think that you have to be 100% unique in order to get your ideas and your offers out into the world, because it's going to be very difficult to accomplish that. So give yourself permission to just be in your, in your wholeness and in your humanness and your messiness, and just trust your intuition on what you're creating and what you're wanting to put out there, without worrying so much about what other people are doing. So again, this is also about not like being more selective about who you are investing your time and your energy into, because let's be honest, there's like a lot of noise out there, and it can be very overwhelming and very confusing when we're taking in too much information at once. And so don't get me wrong, like I think it's very important to have mentors and to learn from each other, but I think it's about quality over quantity. So whether you decide to invest in a £50 program, or you decide to invest 30K into a private mentorship, the best thing to do is to treat everything like you've just spent £1,000,000 on that experience, so that you can really put your time and energy into it and actually get something out of it, instead of just trying to consume so much information and not really integrating any of it. And I'm speaking from personal experience, so there's like zero judgment here, because I was the type of person who would sign up to like 100 programs at the same time and not finish any of them because I just felt overwhelmed. And then it's also, thinking about in the social media world, who are like a few people that you want to follow at a time, instead of trying to consume everybody's content. So, I've got maybe about 5 mentors that I actively follow on social media and consume their content, and learning to use social media in an effective way. So instead of just consuming content, it's also about, like, the whole point of it is about building relationships and connection, and also ultimately bringing in sales at the end of the day. So we'll talk more about that. But yeah, so just a self-reflection question for you on this. What makes your story or your approach uniquely yours? And how can you bring more of that into your offers? So something you could think about with this is also maybe something that you're really passionate about. It's a life experience that you know is going to really help people relate to you, or to help you stand out from the crowd. So maybe you've had like a near-death experience, or you've been through a divorce, or you were adopted, or whatever. Or it could also be like something that you're really passionate about. So what I see a lot with entrepreneurs, especially when they are first coming out of the corporate world, is like that they might be really spiritual, or they might be like really into astrology or whatever it is, but like they have this fear of putting that part of them out there. But actually, if they integrated it into the work that they were doing, that it could actually make that work even more unique and make them even more relatable, or stand out to the crowd and speak to more of the people that they want to attract into their world. So yeah, you take some time to think about this question, but yeah, you can write it down and come back to it later. So let's talk a little bit about what your future clients are actually really wanting. So the first thing that they'll be looking for now is genuine connection. So they want to feel seen, they want to feel heard, they want to feel understood. They don't want to feel like they're just being sold to all the time. They want to feel like they are building genuine relationships and that they're having a genuine connection. And so you may have noticed that there's been some massive shifts in the online space over the last few years. Things are changing very quickly. And, 3 years ago, people were like more willing to invest large sums of money into very high ticket masterminds or mentorships. And now there's been it's like an antitrust era where people are struggling with like having that trust to take that next step or invest in somebody's work. And so it's even harder now to build that trust with people. And so it's even more important now that you are building that genuine connection and building those genuine relationships with people as well. We're going to talk more about that as well. The second thing is clear, aligned leadership. So your message needs to exude confidence and clarity. Again, your future clients want to trust that you are the right person to help them achieve their goal, to help them go from A to B, to help them experience that transformation. And the third thing is simplicity and ease. So overwhelm is real. And everybody's experiencing it in some way. And clients are so drawn to leaders who are making things feel a lot more simple and achievable now, because they're juggling all these different plates like family and self-development and business and well-being and so on. And so nobody has time to join these programs that have hour-long trainings and long complicated processes to integrate and so on. So yeah, maybe this relates to you. So you post a heartfelt message on, just a couple of examples. You post a heartfelt message on Instagram and people comment, "That's so inspiring," but no one's actually booking a sales call with you, or nobody's actually buying your offers. Or maybe you get to the end of a sales call and a client says to you, "I'll think about it," or "Let me speak to my partner," because the reason why this is happening is because your messaging, the way that you're communicating your offer, is not making it crystal clear in terms of the transformation that you're offering, and they are not seeing the value in how you're going to help them achieve their desired goal. So what is one area of your business where you feel like clients aren't fully connecting with you yet? So just let me know in the chat. Is it examples? Is it on Facebook? Is it on Instagram? Is it in the DMs? Is it offline? Are you chatting to people in your communities? Is it on sales calls? Is it on virtual coffees? Where are you trying to connect with your clients and feel like you're not getting that response? I'm not trying, so that's a problem for me. Okay, thank you for your honesty. In-person communities are shine, but online is dead. Great. For me, yeah. My current clients are friends. Okay, great. Conversion calls, affordability for lower level. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. So I'm going to share 3 pillars with you today that are going to help you with this. And these 3 pillars are basically in my new beta offer, my Aligned Client Accelerator, which I'll tell you a little bit about later. But today I really wanted to give you something actionable to walk away with so that you can actually start implementing something today. So the first pillar is credibility, and this is about building trust by confidently owning your expertise and aligning your offer with your audience's needs. And one way that you can start doing this today is to start getting clear on your unique methodology or process that you can take people through. So sure, you would have learned methodologies and processes from your mentors, from the certifications that you did, and that's where it all starts. But over time, as you are working with clients and as you're working with people, that starts to evolve, especially if you're studying different methodologies, and we're all always learning and growing and evolving, right? And so the sooner you can start to think of a methodology, and it doesn't have to be complicated in the beginning, it can be very simple and very kind of like generalized, and it can evolve over time, the easier it is going to be to, number one, take your clients through that process. You're going to save yourself a lot of time and energy in the long run, because you know that you're taking every client through the same pillars, and the pillars might be slightly different depending on who you're working with, but over time you'll start to see a pattern, and as you kind of refine your niche, that will refine as well. Your methodology will refine as well, and I'll give you an example about this in a minute. But it's also, the other benefit is that it's going to be so much easier to communicate what you're doing to your ideal clients and in the online marketing space as well. And so when you have it only needs to be 3 or 4 pillars, methodology or process that you're taking people through, you can use that as a framework to explain to your ideal clients, this is how I take you through this transformation. So this is not about going into depth about the work that you're doing, talking about the subconscious rewiring and the embodiment and, whatever your actual process is. This is not about that, but this is about being able to speak to what your ideal client is wanting to achieve in each of those pillars. So you're speaking to their desires, but you have a framework, you have a process, and that is going to help them feel more confident in the work that you do, because they're like, you have a step-by-step process that is going to take me from where I am now to where I want to be. So yeah, let me give you an example around this. I have a methodology that I have across all my programs, and this is my Aligned Success framework, where I take my clients through 4 stages to help them create a simple, authentic sales system that fits into their desired lifestyle, so they can still focus on their relationships, their family, and their well-being. But my 4 pillars are clarity, so helping them get clarity around their messaging, and the way that they're communicating their offers, to connection. So this is about helping them connect with their ideal clients and be able to start building those relationships and those genuine connections and growing that audience, to creation. And this is where they start actually putting their offers out into the world and start to convert those conversations into clients. And then the last one is elevate, where we elevate the work that we've been doing together and help them fill their one-to-one client list, or help them launch their group program, or whatever they're wanting to elevate at the time. So this is just a kind of rough overview. But another example could be, let's talk about a wellness coach who's supporting women with navigating menopause. So a framework or methodology could be the Empowered Balance Framework. And this is about helping women navigate menopause with ease by rebalancing hormones, restoring energy, and reigniting their confidence. So pillar 1 could be awareness, and this could be about understanding your body's signals. And the goal in pillar 1 could be to build a deeper understanding of how hormonal changes impact your body and your emotions. Pillar 2 could be nourishment, and this could be about fueling your body for hormonal harmony. And the goal with this pillar would be to create a nutrition plan tailored to support hormonal balance. And I've lost pillar 3, but you get the idea. So is this all making sense? Just drop a 1 in the comments, or let me know if you have any questions around this before we move on.
I have a question, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess when you're talking from your perspective, where you're talking to other coaches, I'm sort of clear with that. But when we as coaches are talking to potential clients who don't do coach speak and are looking to solve a particular problem that they've got, are you suggesting that we talk about processes that we'd take them through, that we'd how we'd solve their problems? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so when you're communicating it, so your methodology, once you have your methodology, you're going to have a version for yourself, which is going to be very specific about like the actual processes that you're taking people through within those pillars, right? But when you're communicating it, it's very like top level, speaking directly to what are they going to achieve in that pillar? Like, what is the focus for that pillar? Like, what if you think about the transformation that they want and what they want to achieve, then it's about, okay, what are they going to experience? Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah. So if we look at that example that I just gave you, so yeah, let's say, and I think you could be more specific because the example that I gave you here, with this wellness coach who's working with women who are navigating menopause. So pillar 1 is awareness, understanding your body's signals. So the goal is to build a deeper understanding of how hormonal changes impact your body and emotions. But I would go one step further and explain, does your ideal client want that? Why do they want to have a deeper understanding of how hormonal changes impact their body and emotions? Because maybe that awareness is going to help them feel a lot more relaxed in their body, and that relaxation is going to feed into the way that they're showing up with their family and their relationships and so on. Does that make sense?
Sure. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on. So the second pillar is about visibility. And so this is really about showing up authentically on platforms that are going to feel most aligned to you. And so visibility is so important because people are busy and we're just like naturally not going to be top of their minds most of the time. So it's important that you make your work and your offers visible in a way that is consistent, because also that consistency is going to build trust as well. And it's about creating consistency that fits into your lifestyle, right? Which is like the core of the work that I'm doing here. And this is about creating a visibility strategy that also aligns with your strengths as well. And the problem that I often see with entrepreneurs is trying to focus on too many platforms at once, or trying to implement too many strategies at once and then not succeeding with any of them because they're spreading their time and their energy too thin. And so this is why when I work with my clients, I help them create a visibility strategy that aligns with their strengths and their lifestyle. So some of my clients, for example, are filling their client list with offline marketing strategies only. And some of my clients are increasing their visibility and engagement on social media or Facebook. And some of them have launched new blogs. So whatever works for you at the end of the day, but you need to be consistent with it for like a minimum of, I would say, 6 months. And when you take 3 months, very minimum, but I would say 6 months is more ideal. When you take a simple aligned sales system and focus that on just 1 or 2 platforms, that's when you're going to start to see real results. And whatever you decide to do, it's important to infuse some live elements to it as well, because I think that this is going to really help you build more trust in this time. So even if you are like launching a new blog, think of creative ways of how people can actually experience your personality, because again, that's also going to give people a taster of what it's going to be like to work with you. So the third pillar is engagement. And this is about building genuine relationships that are going to turn conversations into conversions. And so I've just been talking about this with my clients in the Chrysalis Mastermind this week, because they're all just about to launch new programs and new offers over the coming weeks. And what I see a lot of entrepreneurs doing, especially in the earlier days, is like of coming onto the online space, is thinking that they'll come into the online space, they'll put a few posts out, and like clients will come flowing in. And unfortunately, it just doesn't work like that. And a lot of people are disappointed when they realize that it's not working for them. And yeah, especially like I said earlier, at the moment where everybody's experiencing lower engagement in the online space, there's so much more noise out there. It's so much more difficult to know what's working with the algorithm, and the algorithm is constantly changing and blah, 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 blah. So this is why it's so important, more important than ever, to actively build genuine relationships and engage with people offline and online, because again, this is what's going to build on that relatability and that trust with people. And so if you think about this, you wouldn't go to offline networking, like a local networking event, drop a poster off about the work that you do, and then go hide in the bathroom for the rest of the event. Maybe you'd like to do that, but it's not going to be the most effective, right? So if you think about that when it comes to engagement, then it makes it easier to see the importance of actually building relationships and connections with people, even in the online space. And the other thing is, if you think that engagement, marketing, or sales are all like icky, then there is a way to flip the script on that as well. And it's important that you do so, because that is also something that's going to hold you back. And really, it's about starting to see marketing and sales and engagement as a way to build genuine connections and to be in service and to lead with value, rather than only thinking about what you can get out of it. And I know that this can be tricky, especially if your business is your only source of income and you're having to pay bills. But yeah, it's important that you learn to lead with connection with it, in order for it to work for you as well, and in order to do it in the right way, in a way that's going to build trust too. So I actually think I have a free training on the supportive sales. So if you want that free training, let me know and I'll see if I can pull it out for you. So just a self-reflection question for you. And I know we've talked a little bit about this earlier, so I already know what some of you are wanting to focus on, but let's just recap. So which of these pillars feels like the biggest opportunity for growth in your business right now? Is it credibility? Is it visibility? Or is it engagement? So just share in the comments. Engagement, which leads to conversion, visibility, and getting over my visibility fears. Visibility. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, these three pillars, credibility, visibility, and engagement, are where I see most entrepreneurs get stuck when it comes to attracting aligned clients. And that's exactly why I decided to create my Aligned Client Accelerator, my brand new beta offer. And this is basically to help you move past those blocks and to confidently attract perfect fit clients with more ease, so that you can have a solid, sustainable plan to creating consistent revenue and having that lifestyle freedom that you crave as well. So this is a 2-month hybrid program with access to group calls, 24/7 WhatsApp support, one-to-one calls, and an online academy as well, which you'll have access to for a full year, so that you can work through it at your own pace. And the videos are really like bite-sized, so they're easy to digest as well. I don't have a lot of fluff in the way that I teach. I like to get straight to the point. And yeah, this program is for you if you are ready to rewire your mindset and confidently step into your role as the go-to expert. If you want to develop a clear, simple strategy to consistently connect with dream clients without burning out. And if you want to make sales feel more natural and enjoyable so that you can start turning more conversations into opportunities to work with your ideal clients. And how we will do that is working through those 3 pillars of credibility, where we refine your methodology and we refine your messaging and the way that you're communicating your offers so that you can show up as the expert that your client needs. We will look at your visibility strategy in pillar 2, where we'll design a plan tailored to your strengths, along with a simple launch strategy so clients can consistently find and connect with you. And we will also look at helping you master the art of building trust through engagement so that you can bring in more sales without feeling salesy or pushy. And so this is not about doing more, but it's about getting really laser focused on the things that feel most aligned to you and the things that are actually going to move the needle and feel more impactful in your business. So ultimately creating a flow that's going to work for you and your lifestyle. So I'm basically launching this live in January, but the waitlist is open for this week only. And I'll be opening the doors to the waitlist next week with exclusive bonuses. So if you are interested, you can just drop me a DM on Instagram or email me, and I'll send you all the details for the program. And then you can have a read through and decide if you want to join the waitlist this week. And if you do join the waitlist, you'll get access to the early bird rate of $497, which is saving £500. I think there's 4 spaces left for that. And yeah, you'll receive a 60-minute one-to-one irresistible offer intensive with me to help you just dial in your offer and make it a no-brainer for clients to say yes as well. And so, yeah, there's payment plans available as well. And for those who are ready to go all in, if you're loving what we've been discussing today and you feel ready to dive deeper into growing and scaling your business, I also have my Chrysalis Mastermind. So this is my 5-month all-access program designed to help you elevate your business to the next level. And while the Aligned Client Accelerator is all about helping you build that solid foundation with a simple sales strategy to attract more of the right clients, the Chrysalis Mastermind takes things even further. So this is where you get my full aligned success framework, and we dive even deeper into supporting you with filling your one-to-ones or launching your new group program with a simple aligned strategy and also a wealth rewiring system as well, so that you can show up calmly and confidently as you sell your offers. And so the Chrysalis, you also get community support, 24/7 coaching support on WhatsApp, an online academy, and a wealth of resources with easy to digest trainings. So some of the things that my clients say, having been through the Chrysalis, this will be the 3rd time I'm running it in March. They have had worked through a lot of their blocks around money, wealth, and self-worth, and have been able to calmly promote their services with people. That one of them said that she signed 3 new clients in a few months, and is working on a program that feels really aligned with her authentic self. One of them says she has a lot more nervous system regulation when talking about things like money and business expansion. One of them says she embodies more of who she wants to show up as in her business and also in her personal life as the present playful mum who can work on her goals as well. And so if you secure a spot on the Chrysalis, I'll basically give you the Aligned Client Accelerator as a bonus for free. So you would basically kick off 2025 with the Aligned Client Accelerator in January and February, and then that would also prepare you for moving into the Chrysalis in March. And so, you can just let me know if you want more info for either of those, and I'll send them across. So let's just recap on our training today as well, so that you are really clear on what your steps are forward. So what you can focus on right now to start seeing shifts in your business is, 1, stop waiting for perfection and just start showing up today. So take one small actionable step to get visible, even if it feels imperfect. And some examples of this could look like posting a short story on Instagram about why you started your business, or reaching out to someone who's engaged with your content and starting a conversation, or sharing a client win or transformation that you've helped create. And so your action step is to just write down one thing that you can share this week that highlights your unique story or approach. So I'll maybe drop these in the chat. So you can choose just one of these action steps at least. So don't worry about doing all of this. So the second thing is refining your message to align with what your clients truly want. So your clients are going to be looking for leaders who are understanding their struggles and making them feel seen, who clearly communicate the transformation that they'll experience, who keep the process simple and achievable for them. And so your action step around this pillar is reviewing your latest post, email, or sales page and checking in. Does it clearly communicate how you are solving your clients' problems? Or does it feel confusing? And what can be really helpful for with this is to get an ideal client to actually read it, because having a different perspective, because we often get caught up in our own heads about it, can be really helpful as well. And they might say, actually, I was confused about this, or this didn't make sense to me. So yeah, if it doesn't feel clear, you can adjust it with this question in mind. How does this help my audience feel understood and confident in working with me? That's the main focus, right? So the third thing is focusing on genuine connections over more content. So it's about quality over quantity and focusing on building that trust. So spending hours perfecting a post isn't the key to attracting clients. It's about building those relationships directly as well, and thinking of your next piece of content as a conversation starter, not as a full sales pitch that's going to do the sale for you. So an action step around this pillar is to spend 15 minutes engaging with your audience today, comment on posts, reply to messages, or share thoughtful responses to people's messages. So yeah, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it's important that you find a way to be consistent with these things as well. So yeah, so just to recap on the support, so anybody who is looking for some more support, if today resonated with you, the two ways that you can get more support with me is through my new beta offer, the Aligned Client Accelerator, going live in January. And this is the 2-month program designed to help you build a strong foundation to attract the right clients. And we'll focus on creating a simple launch strategy that boosts your credibility, your visibility, and engagement so that you can confidently show up and start creating consistent client flow. And then the second option is the Chrysalis Mastermind. And this is a 5-month deep dive for those who are ready to elevate their aligned sales system, confidently convert leads into clients, and grow their business to the next level. So we'll work on either filling your one-to-ones or launching your next group program while you scale your business in a way that feels spacious and sustainable. And if you secure your spot on the Chrysalis Mastermind, you'll get the Aligned Client Accelerator for free. And so, yeah, just remember, it's not about doing everything at once. It's really about having that mindset of like, you're in this for the long run. It's a journey, taking one small step at a time and just being consistent with your actions. And so the more you focus on progress over perfection, the more aligned your business will feel, the more your dream clients are going to naturally gravitate towards you. And so I would love for you to just choose one action step from today to focus on over the next week. And I would love to hear how you get on with that. I love hearing from you. So please do share with me or share any progress that you've made so that I can celebrate with you as well. Let me know if you've had any takeaways from today. And if you have any questions, we'll open up. Any other questions about anything from today or anything else? Would you consider offering a live yoga class as a good way to create experience of working with me? I expect my clients to have a meditation and yoga practice and to practice with me once a week. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Marla. And the key is like, so, I've got a couple of clients who are running workshops as a taster of the work that they're doing, and they do that either weekly or bi-weekly, even if you wanted to do one monthly, whatever works for you. But yeah, it's a great way to give people a taster of the work that that you do, and to have them experience the way your style of working. But it's also important to always think about the next step for people as well. So once they've attended that yoga class, talking to them at the end as well about what potential next steps could be for them. How could they experience more of your work? What are the options?
Thank you, Taryn.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I think that's a lovely idea.
Thank you.
Very helpful. Thank you. Thanks, Jess. I'm glad you got some value from it. And Dawn says, creating engagement conversations with individuals, even online and DMs, is time consuming. However, if people are not engaging in our posts, the messaging doesn't get in front of everyone. So it is really about dialing in the messaging, but also continuing to build those relationships in a way that feels sustainable for you, Dawn. So, if engaging every day doesn't work, then maybe it's just about blocking out like half an hour a week, or an hour a week, or whatever that looks like. But you have to find a way of doing it consistently, because what happens is you start to build momentum over time, and most people are not going to buy from you straight away. But even though you might not be getting engagement on your posts, people will be watching you. And so often the people that buy are not the people that are actively engaging on your posts all the time as well. So don't think that because you haven't had any engagement that nobody's actually watching what you're doing. Because often a lot of the clients that I've brought in haven't been actively engaging on my posts, but they have been watching what I've been doing on social media. And then when they're ready, they reach out to say, I'd love to work with you. I've been following you on Instagram over the last 6 months, or whatever. I mean, I had a client who has been on my mailing list since I was a yoga teacher like 10 years ago. And obviously I've pivoted into coaching over the years, and she joined me as a coaching client, and I completely forgot that she was even on my mailing list. But she'd been following my social media, and she'd been following my emails. So yeah, you never know, but you've got to build that momentum and trust. It is also going to come down to trust as well, because this is the thing with entrepreneurship. Even when you're not getting the engagement, even when you think things are not working, you have to trust that you're moving in the right direction, and that you're building that momentum that is going to bring in the right clients for you.
If I guess when I'm actively increasing my connections, originally I wasn't engaging in any chit chat, but then I thought, well, maybe that would help do the build, like, and trust. I don't want to sell to them at that point, but I'm trying to build that connection with them at that point. However, I put a fair amount of effort into posting on LinkedIn, mainly 5 times a week, and frustrating when there's no engagement on the post. That then, because of the algorithm, doesn't mean the post is then put in front of the next the next number of people. So I guess I'm trying to do it in an ethical way by building some level of engagement in the DMs. That then becomes time consuming. And I guess it's the frustration is what I'm feeling, to help, because I do feel that, some of my posts are great. Some are not so great, right? Some are not so great. But people aren't seeing them in the first instance. And I can tell that from the numbers. I told you earlier on, I'd had a post that was nothing to do with work. It got 30,000 views. I did something that, took me hours to craft. At one point, it got 67 views. And I wanted to poke somebody in the eye with a sharp stick at that point. But, it literally, it means that the algorithm is helped if 1 or 2 people engage with it, it puts it in front of another 100 people. And it's getting that is the frustration.
Yeah, and there's a fine balance, because there's a lot of people out there who are focusing on becoming viral on social media, and this is actually can really backfire on people, because this is focusing on quantity over quality, and it's putting you in front of a lot of people who are not going to be the right people.
Yes.
And so, yes, you might get 30,000 people engaging with you, but they're not going to be all your ideal clients, and a very small percentage of them might be, whereas when you're focusing specifically on speaking to your ideal clients, you might not get as much engagement. You might not go viral. You might not have as many followers, but those people are really listening to what you're saying because you're speaking directly to them. And you might not see it straight away, but they'll come when they're ready. So
I guess it's not even getting in front of those people. When you've got something that like 167 views at the end of the day, you know full well that it's not got in front of your 6,000 connections. It's because it's telling you it's only got in front of 167 people. So there's a frustration for me anyway.
Yeah, so there's if you think about, so the people that are ready to buy in your audience are going to be roughly 3 to 5%. So if you take your total audience and you figure out what the 3 to 5% is, you'll have a rough idea of how many people in your audience are ready to buy from you. So if you've only got, 100 people, then there's still 5 people there ready to buy. So even if you're not getting like a massive following or views, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be people that are going to be ready to buy from you. It's just about having a system that is going to be able to help you to speak directly to those people. Because that's the other thing with the engagement is that, this is more about than just having a friendly chat. In the same way as that you don't want to go viral, you also just don't want to be like you just having friendly chats either. You're also there to make sales, and the whole thing is about you doing it in a supportive way. And there's a system that I take my clients through with this to help them have conversations that feel authentic and genuine and are supportive for the person, but are also going to find out if they're the right person to work with them and to lead them to an opportunity.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guess I'm just voicing my frustration. This is 2 years basically of building up my business, and it's still frustrating. And I appreciate I've pivoted slightly. I pivoted a lot and then slightly again. So I know it takes time, but it would be nice to get a more positive conversion.
Yeah, sure. And I hear your frustrations because, it does take time. And this is why a lot of entrepreneurs will bail out in the first 4 years. But often entrepreneurs throw the towel in just before things are going to start working for them. So hang in there.
I'm not giving up yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll get there. Any other questions? Anything else anybody wanted to share before we close the call today? Don't give up, Jess says. Yeah. And that's the whole point is like, we're in this together. So having community and support to hold you accountable, to keep you showing up is going to be key as well. So never feel like you're alone in this.
Thank you so much, Taryn.
It's a pleasure, Marla. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. And if you have any questions about anything or if you want to chat, just drop me a DM or drop me an email. I really do always love hearing from you. So much love, everyone. Speak soon. Bye.